My name is Ondrej and here is how to build anything with Grok-2. Now what even is Grok? Grok is an AI model developed by XAI, which is Elon Musk's AI company. It is one of the best LLMs in the world and it is way less restricted than both ChatGPT or Claude. So in this video you'll learn how to build any app or AI agent with Grok-2. Now here's the plan. We're going to use the new Grok API that just released a few weeks ago to build a team of AI agents. With AI agents, you can automate 90% or more of the repetitive tasks or processes. Obviously, the simpler, the easier to automate. Now, you might be thinking, but David, which AI agent are you going to build? Well, great question. So I asked the New Society what they wanted me to build, and Gleb right here suggested a YouTube channel scraper. By the way, if you're not in the New Society, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. Inside, you get tons of exclusive trainings on AI agents, how to make your own startup, how to use Cursor like a pro, and you get to speak to me once a week where you can ask me anything. So again, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. Now, here is the history of Grok and why it even exists. It dates back to OpenAI. A lot of you don't know that OpenAI actually exists mostly thanks to Elon. He was one of the co-founders alongside Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, but he was the main investor. He was the one who funded OpenAI in the early days. Now, he wanted OpenAI to be a non-profit that developed open source AI models. Those are the two keywords, non-profit, open source. However, as we all know, OpenAI somehow became a closed source for-profit company, which caused Elon to leave. Now, here comes Elon's great comeback. Leaving OpenAI meant that Elon was no longer a major player in the AI race. This was especially painful to him since AI is on his main list of 5 things that will impact the future of humanity the most. So, when Elon saw the success of ChatGPT, he knew that he had to act. An act he did. By now, it's safe to say that Elon has decided to go all in on AI. In March of 2023, he founded a new AI company called XAI. In 2024, they managed to build the world's biggest AI supercomputer, and they did it in just 19 days. Now, on the right, you can see what Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, had to say about that. Building a massive supercomputer factory in the short time that was done, that is superhuman. There's only one person in the world who could do that. What Elon and the XAI team did is singular. Never been done before. And not only that, they're already working on doubling the amount of GPUs to 20,000. So nobody even surpassed their original 100,000 supercomputer and they're already expanding it, which is pretty amazing. So how can me and you actually benefit from Grok? Alright, firstly, we can use Grok inside of X or Twitter as a more unbiased alternative to ChatGPT, especially if you're asking something about politics or, sensitive issues that ChatGPT or Claude will give you very, let's say, San Francisco-like opinions on. Second, we can automate boring and repetitive tasks in our work or life with AI agents built on top of Grok. Third, and this is the most exciting, you can use Grok to power your AI startup. And it has never been easier to turn your idea into a company with the help of AI. Now, Grok is known for its AI images. So a lot of people are wondering, why are the images so damn good, so damn realistic? Actually, Grok itself cannot generate any AI images. This is a very common misconception. All of the images you see are created using Flux-1, which is a very powerful AI image model, especially when it comes to realism. In fact, I would say it's the best in the world, even better than Midjourney. So the XAI team uses the model API in Twitter, and then anytime you type in like create an image or whatever, the model calls on top of the API, which is just a tool for the agent, and then it returns the image, which makes you think you created an image with Grok, but it's just Flux. Now here is the real promise of Grok. We all know that both ChatGPT and Claude are extremely woke and politically correct. And having so much built-in bias can lead to some very dangerous conclusions, such as when the AI chooses to cause a nuclear war over misgendering somebody. Now this is where Elon and Grok comes in. He promises that Grok will be the fix to this problem by making it as objective and unbiased as possible. The way he describes this is that he wants to build a truth-seeking AI, no matter if that truth is offensive or not, it's just the truth. And personally, I think that's a much better approach than what OpenAI or Claude are trying to do with their San Francisco values. Now, here is what happens when you connect Grok with AI agents. It's clear that AI agents are going to change the world. But how does Grok fit into all of this? Well, first off, Grok agents will not refuse to do tasks because they go against guidelines. Meaning, if you're building some AI app and you're having trouble with the agent refusing to do some things, switching to Grok will likely solve the issue. Also, your agents will be a lot more reliable and objective, and there is a clear example in diet, for example. So let's say you have an AI agent that creates custom diets. Maybe you're a personal trainer, you have a fitness YouTube channel. Now, if you use, let's say, OpenAI or Claude, it might be biased against meat. It might be like pro-vegan, right? And let's say that has nothing to do with what you're teaching. Well, suddenly your AI agent is not delivering the product that you wanted to deliver. So here is why now is the time to learn how to build with the Grok API and to start building agents with it. XAI is already training Grok 3, which might change everything, and that is not an overstatement. There is a high chance it's going to be the best AI model in the world. And just thinking from first principles, like Elon does, they have the best supercomputer in the world. They have the largest AI cluster, and they're already doubling it. So given the fact they have the most compute, they will very likely make the best model. And they are expecting to release it before the end of 2024, which means we might see Grok 3 in the next 1 to 2 months. Most people are still using ChatGPT or Claude. So Grok is very, very under the radar. But if it's better, it's going to quickly skyrocket, and it might become, in a year or two, the most popular LLM in the world. And now, let's get to building. Alright, so here is the plan. First, we need to set up Grok-2 API and test a basic chat completion. So let's do that. In Google, I typed in XAI API, and here's the first link. I'm gonna link it also below the video. Now, in case you don't remember, we're gonna be building a YouTube channel scraper, which is what Gleb suggested. He's one of the members of the New Society. And as always, all of the prompts and code from this video will be in the classroom in the New Society right here. Templates and presets. Here you can access everything. So again, first link below the video. Anyways, let's get into here. So when you first load up the docs.xai, you will not be logged in, right? I would recommend using your X account or your Twitter. So do that, takes literally 20 seconds. Once you're logged in, we need to go into the console. So click on API console, and here you will see your credits. Now, as you can see, I have $5 of prepaid credits and $30 of free credits. So it depends when you join, I guess you will get some free credits, but I would still recommend, and this applies to all APIs, charge in a few dollars just so the API knows that you're not a bot and you don't have any troubles. So yeah, even if you get free credits, if you run into issues later on, it's probably because you didn't put in your credit card. Anyways, first we need to create an API key. So let's do that. I'm gonna name it New Society Key. Next, we're gonna keep this turned on, enable all endpoints so that the API key can do anything, right? Next, we're also gonna enable all models. However, this doesn't matter because there's only one available model right now, and that's Grok Beta. So yeah, like you can choose to enable it for specific models or not, but honestly, it doesn't matter. So you can leave that on, save. And then you can preview. You have a curl here that we can run, but we're gonna use a simpler way in this moment. What we need to do is we need to copy the API key and save it. So I'm gonna be using Cursor. This is right now my favorite AI code assistant. By the way, I need to close that. That is my AI startup. As you can see, I have my AI startup open. This is the behind the scenes. And actually, I'm uploading every single day in the New Society. In the Start Your AI Startup classroom, I'm uploading daily updates showing you exactly what I'm doing, how I'm planning to scale it, what mistakes I ran into, and anything else you might need when building your own AI startup. So another reason to join. But okay, let's close this file, close folder, and let's open an empty folder inside of Cursor. Open folder, Grok-2. Let's create new folder. I'm gonna name it code, just to keep it simple. Code, open. On the right, let's create a new file. Let's name it main agent.py. And then, actually we need to create a second file, and we're gonna name it .env. This is an environment variable which is used to store API keys and other secrets. So let's put in XAI API key, and Cursor is already suggesting the syntax. So let's copy this, Control V and Control S. Now never share API keys with anybody. I will delete mine before uploading this video. Okay, so now let's go back. We can complete this. Let's go back into docs. We need to go into documentation and see how to actually get a chat completion, right? So the easiest way is to use the OpenAI SDK, believe it or not. So honestly, I'm predicting that Elon will change this because of his beef with OpenAI. So there is a way to do it with curl requests, but they also support different SDKs. So let's click on that. It's kind of hidden right now because I don't think they want people to use it. But hey, I'm gonna link it below the video as well so you guys know where to find it, because if you're doing it for the first time, it can be a bit tricky to find this. Anyways, we want the OpenAI SDK, which if you've built anything with OpenAI API or any other API that uses the OpenAI endpoint, you will be familiar with this. It is very easy to understand. You simply import OS, then you import OpenAI. You set the API key, you create a new client where you feed in the API key and you change the URL. Since we're using OpenAI and we want Grok-2, which obviously is from XAI, we need to change the base URL and then we get a chat completion. So let's copy this. Inside of Cursor, I'm going to launch the composer, Control K, actually Control I, sorry, Control I. And then I'm going to say, implement the following. Okay, I want you to implement, let me zoom in a bit. I want you to implement a simple AI chat completion using the Grok-2 API. Here is the exact syntax to follow. And then I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to say, change the prompts so that it's some useful use case. Enter. And now Cursor is going to do the coding for us. So again, this is why you should absolutely use AI coding assistants, is because you can build stuff in programming languages you have zero experience in. And this is precisely why I created the advanced tutorial on Cursor available in the user society. I highly recommend you watch this. It is just 56 minutes of high-level advice how to get the most out of this code editor. And right now it is the best AI code editor in the world. So yeah, you can find that if you're interested. And if you're serious about developing something with AI, let's say your own startup, your own AI agents, highly recommend you use Cursor, or you can use other AI code assistants, but definitely don't try to avoid AI tools because it will save you so much time and it will help you prevent mistakes that you would otherwise make. It will help you prevent them, right? So AI coding tools are so OP and they're becoming better every month. Every month just becomes easier to make your own software. It's crazy. Anyways, we have our code over here. So in general, it is good practice to read everything before you accept it, but this is such a simple use case where I feel comfortable just accepting it before analyzing it. Here we get the API key from the environment variable. I probably should have specified that, but yeah, it sees it, so I think that's fine. This will load the environment variable, so yeah, Cursor knows the env is there and it knows the key is inside of the env. So that's good. Once we create a client, we create the chat completion. Syntax is exactly the same as OpenAI because we're using the OpenAI endpoint. Let's see what the system prompt is right here. You are a helpful Python programming assistant. You provide clear, okay. How do I read and parse JSON file in Python? Okay, so I told it to use some useful example because by default it has some like esoteric knowledge. Anyways, I think it asks what the meaning of the universe is. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get a successful completion from Grok. Let's see. And there it is. Okay, so it's not formatted exactly properly. We can actually highlight this, put it into Composer and say, change our print line so that we only get the text output, nothing else. Okay. So now inside of our code, so now Cursor is updating our final message so that we only get the content of the message. Okay, let's do something simple. Let me put answer in short so that it's a faster response. Let's try again. Actually, let me clear up. Let me refresh the terminal so it's clear. And there it is. So we are getting a Grok completion. It takes about 2 seconds to fill out. So it's pretty fast, right? It's not the fastest, definitely not the slowest. So definitely like really solid speed. And it is as capable as like GPT-4o. I wouldn't put it on the same level as the new Sonnet 3.5. I think that's the best model right now. But Grok 3, I mean, I have big hopes for Grok 3. Anyways, we have completed the first stage of our 5-step plan, which is set up Grok-2 API and test a basic chat completion. So let's check that off. Next step is to install and test AgentQL for basic YouTube channel scraping. If you don't know what AgentQL is, it's basically like a language that you can put into AI agents so that they understand web elements. So let's say in here, by the way, this is the UI for my AI startup. If you want to be one of the first people that have access, there's going to be a link below to sign up for the waitlist. Anyways, so let's say you wanted to find the settings icon, right? Instead of doing like inspect element and really trying to analyze the HTML and JavaScript for where the button is, you can simply type settings button and it will find on the page, even if the page changes, right? So it is very new way to automate stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead and implement this step. So into Google, type in AgentQL. And as the headline says, it's designed for painless data extraction and web automation. So it can find elements easily, even when the websites change. So yeah, this might be the future of web scraping. And a lot of you have asked me like how to scrape websites. This is one way to do it. You can obviously use Firecrawl, which is great, but it cannot get to all websites. Firecrawl is amazing for only like easy to scrape websites. When it gets more complicated, right, when they have some protection against scraping, maybe AgentQL might be the answer, okay? So anyways, let's get started. We need an API key. Let's click on that, get API key. And we also need to open up the docs. Here we need to sign up. So I'm just going to use my GitHub. By the way, they have a really promising free plan with up to 1,200 free API calls per month. So unless you're doing some serious scraping, you should be good with the free plan. If you want to do professional, you get 15,000 and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm just going to be building with the free plan. Should be plenty for this application. Anyways, this took 10 seconds to log in. So that's super easy. Let's create a new API key, And this was honestly much easier than XAI where you had to fill out multiple options. Here it's super easy. So let's copy that. Let's go into our env file and put it on the next line. So I'm going to name it AgentQL API key equals Control V. So let's save it, Control S. Okay, now that we have the API key in our environment file, we need to actually figure out the documentation. So here I'm in the docs. Again, I'm going to link it below so it's easy for you to find. And honestly, what we can do is we can just go with a quick start. That's always a good way to do it. And we can paste this into Cursor and have Cursor help us out. So let's see, perform the query with AgentQL Python SDK. Yes, that's what we're looking for. So we need to do these two installs first. Let's do that. Let's go back into Cursor. I'm going to go terminal, new terminal. And I'm going to also use the Command K, which is the editing feature in Cursor. And you can use this inside of the terminal. So if you guys are not comfortable with programming, if you're not a programmer, you can absolutely do this because with Cursor, it can help you every step of the way. And you can ask as many questions as you may need. So I pressed Ctrl K and I'm going to type in run these two commands because if I just pasted it, it would put it on two different lines and that could be trouble. Cursor is going to format it so it's on one line. Run these two commands. Okay, so as you can see, it formats it on one line, putting the and symbol. So let's run. And now we'll install those two packages into our environment. I'm using Conda for this. You can use the default Python environment, but it's good practice to use Conda. If you don't know how to use Conda, just go into the chat feature inside of Cursor and say, help me set up Conda. I've never done it. Give me step-by-step instructions. Use simple and easy to understand language. Boom, enter, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do to set up Conda. So you don't need to use it, but I would recommend you do it. So yeah. Chat is basically for chatting. The chat feature inside of Cursor, you can ask anything, you can get it to help, get it to explain. Composer is for implementation across multiple files. The Control K feature is just like the editor, I don't know what they call it. Let's try it. Let's see what they call it. Let's see, we want to change the, let's say we want to change something here with Control K, or actually, yeah, they just do edit. So the edit feature, edit feature is Command K. So that is for changing only certain parts of code, a specific, some specific part, small part. Anyways, we've done this. Okay, so create a new script, that's fine. And then this is the code, right? This is the code. So what I'm gonna do is there's a feature inside of Cursor, but it doesn't work that well. There's a feature called docs, where we can take this, right? We can do docs, add new doc, we can paste in the URL, and we can name it AgentQL. The issue is that this feature doesn't always work the best. So let's still use this, right? But at the same time, I'm gonna copy the quick start code so that we repeat the syntax twice. So as you can see, you can tag, once you create the custom docs inside of Cursor, you can tag it and talk to it. So I'm gonna say, make changes in, and then I'll tag, this is another good habit, tagging your files. Make changes in main agent.py so that we are using AgentQL for a basic YouTube channel scrape, okay? The official documentation is in AgentQL, enter, and then I can just AgentQL, boom, and I can just paste this in regardless. And then let's probably follow our step-by-step line, right? Do not overcomplicate. It's just a small test project. Make sure it works. Okay, that's probably not needed, but yeah. One thing that's good, before you start coding, spend 2 paragraphs reasoning about what you're gonna do and why. This is very good. So you force it to burn some tokens, kind of thinking, planning what it's going to do, and then it has much higher chance to implement it correctly. So let's see. Let me analyze the task and plan our approach. First, we want to switch from using Grok API to using AgentQL. Not necessarily. Maybe we should have separated it. You know what? Okay, I'm going to reject all, and I'm going to improve our prompt. I probably should tell it not to override the stuff, right? So I'm going to tell it not to delete what we have. Do not delete the Grok API part. We will need that later. Just build around it, okay? Should have specified that, but that's my bad. Honestly, 90% of the time, if something isn't going according to how you want it, it's usually because of you. It's usually your mistake. Your prompt was vague, your prompt was confusing, unclear, and it is important to recognize this instead of blaming the AI model right away. So yeah, I updated my prompt, and now it shouldn't delete what we have. Instead, it should try to implement. It's still trying to delete. Whatever. Let's accept this. Let's see what's going on right here. So the changes include added AgentQL and Playwright imports. Oh my God, it uses MKBHD as the example channel. MKBHD over the last 2 months really hurt his reputation, especially with the tech community, right? Because he has been like dissing Tesla, dissing obviously all the new AI products. He released his own app for wallpapers, which was just terrible. So yeah, MKBHD really dropped in terms of population. So let's not use his channel, Let's maybe use my channel. Why not? But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. So, okay. Okay, let's probably stay on the default homepage. So I'm going to do that. Going to replace this. Boom. Not using MKBHD. So, again, we don't need to understand everything. We just need to know what's going on roughly. Keep the Grok API. So it is trying to use the Grok API for something. Not sure for what. And okay, let's use chat. I think this is a good spot to use chat. So explain how we implemented AgentQL in main agent, and how each part of the code works. Use simple and easy to understand language. Be concise. So now this is how you gain understanding. Hopefully you should be learning as you're building with AI. Obviously it is, on some sense, it is nice to kind of have the AI do everything for you, but the more complicated your use case or the project is, the more unlikely it is that AI will nail everything on the first try. So you still should absolutely be learning yourself. A lot of people has this terrible idea that, AGI is coming soon. There is no point in learning programming, in learning the basics of terminal. That is such a loser idea. That is such a bad way to think. Of course you should be learning the basics. You can operate faster, and you can spot when AI is making the mistakes, which will save you so much time and headache. And trust me, I know this firsthand, because over the last 7 days, I've been building my AI startup, and I've been using AI every single day to help me do that. So again, if you want to see how that's going, it's in the new society. I'm transparently showing every single step I'm taking, everything I'm doing. And yeah, I'm showing the wins, the hard parts, the mistakes I'm making, the things I learned. And AI, trust me, you cannot rely on AI 100%. And it's not going to be still the case for the next 3 to 5 years until the issue of hallucination or, reliability is solved. So anyways, this is an explanation. I wouldn't say it's concise. I asked for concise, but yeah. So what I'm trying to understand is the YouTube part, right? What it is exactly. Let me refine my prompt. My question is more about the YouTube part. What exactly does AgentQL right now scrape? Maybe I should just test it out. Answer in short. So this is using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, the latest one, the new one. Oh yeah, so this, okay, I'm just blind. So this is the YouTube channel query. Channel name, subscriber count, and then videos. Okay, so let's run it. Let's see, we can save it. Let's see if we get an error or not. So we didn't get any immediate errors. That is good. Okay. So it launched, let's pause this. It launched a new window. Did it scrape it though? Did something happen? Not sure. Maybe I need to link it straight to videos actually. It's probably better. Let's close this. I don't know if anything happened though. Okay, let me update the link so it goes to my videos page right away. So we need to figure out, maybe let's go back to the documentation. We probably shouldn't have speedrun it so fast. We need to, what are we doing with the results, right? Print response. So, okay, I'm gonna go back to the composer and say, comment out the section of Grok API. Section of code that makes the Grok API call. Obviously, I can do this myself in 2 seconds. However, I want to show you that you can just build with plain English with AI, right? Then I'm going to say, do not change anything else. Actually, I should be in Composer. Let's do it in Composer. So all we do is basically just turn this into comment so it doesn't trigger it, right? So now I'm going to say, great job. Now I want you to add debug print statements so that we know what's going on as the script is running, but don't overdo it. All right, so let's accept that. Now we will have a lot more info about what's going on as the script goes. So let's do that. It opens up the channels successfully, correctly, but then it doesn't do anything. Oh wait, launching browser, navigating your channel, starting data extraction. Maybe let's go back to AgentQL main page and let's learn a bit more. Get all the post comments. Okay, maybe I didn't give it enough time. Okay, so that was my bad. Wow, this is amazing. I didn't give it enough time. So the agent was scraping my channel and look at this. Here we have the response. Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, amazing, amazing. So what I'm gonna do is gonna highlight this. I'm gonna put it into the composer and I'll say, here is what the output from AgentQL looks like. This is actually great. Wow, now I'm excited. Okay, make the following changes. Let's break it out into steps. Instead of printing out, so I'm gonna do, I need to write these ideas out. Save into file. All right, so instead of printing out the entire AgentQL output, just show the first 100 characters. The second change is feed in the entire AgentQL output into the Grok prompt via a variable. Okay, completely rewrite the prompts for the Grok API chat completion, both the system and user prompts, okay? Telling it that it's an AI assistant that specializes in scraping. What exactly did Gleb request? YouTube channel scraper, okay. So AI assistant that specializes in scraping YouTube channels and formatting the data from the scrape into nice clean markdown. Instead of printing out the resulting response of Grok, just save it into a markdown file. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's see any other change we need to make. AgentQL, yeah, I think that's good. Let's revisit our to-do list. So install text.html, this works. Build the video extraction functionality. So we kind of already have this half implemented. We're right now implementing this layer. I need to learn more about AgentQL because wow. I mean, they say it's the number one product of the day. I'm curious, let's look up Google Trends. If you're not using Google Trends, it's an amazing website to kind of understand what is going on and what's popular. So AgentQL, let's do AgentQL. I want to see how its popularity is changing in the last 90 days. Okay, so I guess this is the initial release and now, maybe let's do last 30 days. Now it started to see some traction. AgentQL, maybe agentql.com. AgentQL, I guess let's do the topic. Maybe that's the way to do it. No, it still doesn't have enough search, it's crazy. But one thing I want to show you is that how it compares, let's say, Claude AI with Grok, because Grok is still very underrated, right? So let's do like 90 days. As you can see, Claude is much more popular. So this was the release of Grok inside of Twitter, and it's still like what, 20 times, almost exactly 20 times less popular than Claude. So if Grok 3 is really as good as I think it will be, there is a high chance we will see this chart flipping and Grok skyrocketing to be the second most popular AI tool, AI chatbot in the world after ChatGPT, and maybe it will even surpass ChatGPT, but that will take longer, obviously. But I think it definitely has the potential to flip Claude, especially given the fact that it's built into Twitter. So if you have Twitter premium account, you can use it. So the distribution is very, very large. Yeah, maybe that's now that I think about it, that's the reason why it's not even more famous, because it's only for paying Twitter users. Once Elon makes it for all Twitter users and, has a plan for them, like a free plan, the same way ChatGPT and Claude have one, then this will explode. Easy prediction. Anyways, let's see how Cursor implemented. There are 4 changes. So now that we have the code working, we should actually be more careful in accepting stuff, right? So let's review this. Extracted channel data, so it only prints the first 100 characters, then it completely rewrites the prompt. Your YouTube channel analysis agent. Your job is to take raw YouTube channel data and format it into clean, readable markdown. Focus on key metrics, trends. Oh, well, we can remove that sentence. Anyways, I'm going to accept it and I'm going to make changes. Focus on, and I'm going to delete this. Focus on presenting the data, the video data in an organized way. Use markdown. I'm going to say use standard markdown formatting. Save. So what you just saw is Cursor suggesting, autocomplete basically. But it's sometimes it feels like it can read your mind, honestly. Here is the raw data. So this is the user prompt. And then we feed the response as a variable. Here is the raw data from a YouTube channel scrape. Please analyze it and create a clean markdown response that includes channel overview, latest videos tables. Okay, that's kind of shit. So what I need to do is change this. I'm going to highlight it, do Control K. Change the prompt so that it focuses more on analyzing the views of videos and spotting the 3 most popular videos as well as the 3 least popular, and performing an analysis of why that might be based on the titles and thumbnails. Okay, are we getting thumbnails? Video title. I don't think we're getting thumbnails. I mean, that would have to be an image, so it's probably better to just keep it simple now. Yeah, this is much better. So then we will save it as a markdown file. Yeah, that sounds good. Check YouTube analysis. So yeah, let's run it. Launching browser. So it launches browser, and now the AI agent is acting in the browser. So I stopped it from acting. Is there a way to visualize this inside of AgentQL? Would be kind of cool to watch the AI agent work, right? Obviously, we can go into the terminal and just see our print statements that are updating us on what's happening, but we cannot really see, as far as I'm aware, we cannot really see. That would be really cool if we saw the agent, how it's like moving a cursor, looking at different elements. But man, AgentQL, if you want to, I might make an entire video on AgentQL. If you want to see that, just comment below. Oh, there is also a Chrome extension. Get started by your gateway, extract data from websites. Okay, so obviously that's not going to be as automated. We skipped that step and we went straight to the AI agent building. But yeah, this looks like a promising project. This looks like a very promising project, and I guess that's why it's #1 product hunt. Yeah, anyways, we have the script completed. We have our analysis markdown file. Let's see. So extracted channel, subscriber count. Yeah, that's correct, blah, blah, blah. Let's see the analysis. Okay, we need to close the terminal, Control J, Command J. Let's also do Command L to close the chat. So let's see, here is the markdown report based on the YouTube channel data provided. So this is formatted from Grok, right? So in our AI agent, AgentQL does the scraping, and then we have a Grok agent who formats the response into a clear markdown, which we then save as a separate file. So David Ondrej YouTube channel analysis, 126,000 subscribers. We can make that a lot more. Please subscribe. Most viewed videos. Built anything with OpenAI 01. Okay, so again, this is only from what it scraped. So it loaded like the last 3 months, I think, the last 4 months maybe. Okay. So these are my top 3 most viewed videos in that time frame. And these are my top 3 least viewed videos in that time frame. Very interesting. Honestly, I probably should spend some time analyzing this and finding the common patterns, but maybe just Grok did this for me, right? So title, okay, analysis of view count differences. Titles that promise actionable insights or showcase impressive AI capabilities tend to attract more viewers. Okay. Low views. Titles that are more speculative or less action-oriented. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I should probably spend more time reading this and focusing on it. But yeah, this is it. We've built a YouTube channel scraper. Obviously, we can feed it multiple pages, not just one, and we can have it do other stuff, right? Or let's say we want to find YouTube channels in a different niche. We want to find the biggest YouTube channels in finance, in car detailing, whatever. Or we want to scrape something else like frequency of uploads, maybe. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? And obviously you can do more than just YouTube. That's the promising part. And this is the most promising part. You literally define your query like this. Just channel query, channel name, subscriber count, and AgentQL can find these things in the website. So wow, I'm impressed by AgentQL. And if you want this AI agent for whatever use case you want for yourself, maybe you want to build on top of it and create your own scraper, or you want to scrape some different websites and you just want to change the URL to the websites you want to scrape, then I'm going to be leaving it in the classroom in the new society. Again, this is going to be first link in the description. We have this section for templates and presets. Click on it, and inside you'll see AI agents by David. You'll find the AI agents from my previous videos, as well as from future videos. It really is a no-brainer deal, honestly. And on top of that, we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't see any value, I will personally send you the money back. So make sure to join. It's the first thing in the description. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, thank you for watching, and hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, subscribe and have a great rest of the day.